What's up, guys? Your boy MDS Filmer here. So today I'm going to be giving you my top 5 favorite video games of all time. Now before I start this, I just want to let you guys know that these are just my honest opinions. Now I know some of you will have your own different opinions on what you think is the best game ever, just bear with me that these are just my honest opinions. So for my top 5 video game is Battlefield Hardline. Now the reason why I put this game at number 5 is just for one reason why I liked it so much, but I'll get to that in a few seconds. The one thing I didn't really like about this game is how the story was portrayed. I love the story, but I didn't really like how they were going for. Like in the past Battlefield games, you got the cinematic cutscenes were first person, and I like that very much because you felt as those cutscenes were going on, you felt like you were a part of the game. But in this one, you actually had actual cinematic cutscenes, like one camera paneling to one angle and another angle, and every time I kept watching those cutscenes, the one thing that was going through my mind, I'm like, this feels like the TV series Hawaii Five-0. Now I know a lot of you are probably going to hate on me for that, but that's the vibe that I'm going for. But the one thing I love about this game is the multiplayer. I love the multiplayer. Like, there's so much you can do to it. And I just love the theme of the game, cops and robbers. You can either play as the cops or the robbers, and like the maps are gorgeous. They're so fluid and so diverse, and you can do a lot of things in this. And during multiplayer, you can go wherever you want and like drive any vehicle you want and destroy whatever you want. Heck, you can even destroy the skyscraper that's next to you if you put enough damage to it. But that's why I love this game. I love the multiplayer. Number 2 on the list would have to be the Assassin's Creed series. Like, to me, I've always been an Assassin's Creed fan. I grew up playing them, and I beat every single one. But I know that there's not a lot of good vibes about this game. Like, the endings aren't really that good, and like the plot story's not that good, and there's a lot of bugs and lagging that go on in this game. But the one thing I love about this game is just the context of the history that goes on throughout this game. Like, you got these two organizations that are fighting each other throughout time and history, and I love how they portray them in like these different events that go on. Like in Assassin's Creed 3, you got the Templars, the bad guys, as the Redcoats, who were the actual bad guys in the Revolutionary War, and you got the 13 colonies fighting against them with the assassins on their side. And like the reason why is because I'm a huge historian fan. I love studying it, and I love learning more about history. But that's the one thing that really stood out for me for this game. Number 3 would have to be Fallout 4. Like, when I first heard about this game, I wasn't really too enthusiastic. Like, I sort of played the past ones before, but when I first saw this game in action, like in the demo gameplay, I'm like, I've got to get this game. And when I played it, I was in love with the gameplay. Like, I love the open world environment that you can get, and I'm quoting this guy, but he said that you can go wherever you want and do whatever you want. Like, it's so diverse, and I love the story as well. Like, you got this character, like, you can choose to either be the husband or wife. You live in a normal life in a sort of kind of alternate future, I guess, and then tragedy happens, the world goes into chaos, and you are frozen in time. You wake up 200 years later, your loved one is dead, and your son is kidnapped, and you go on this quest to finding him, and just the way that this game plays out is just so good, and I love it. Number 2 on the list is The Last of Us. Like, when I first heard this game was coming out, I wasn't really enthusiastic. Like, I didn't know much about this game, but over the years, I keep seeing it advertising on TV and like on the internet. Like, it got so many awards, and I'm like, okay, now I got to get this game. I got to see what it's like. And when I played it, I loved it so much. The gameplay was awesome, but what the one thing that I really loved about this game was the story. Like, you get so emotionally attached to the story and the characters in this game. Like, you got Joel here, who lost his daughter. Spoiler alert, by the way. He loses his daughter in this zombie-ish outbreak, and like 20 years later, he becomes this, I guess, low life degenerate that doesn't really care what happens to people or to himself really. But on the way in the story, you see that he is getting better and he's trying to redeem himself for what happened. And you got the second main character, Ellie. I love Ellie. You got this 14 or 15-year-old girl who is on this journey throughout this very violent and unknown world to her, and she's afraid. Like throughout the game, she's afraid, but she's still not too scared enough to go into battle. I think that's how you put it. Yeah. You get these two characters together and they form a bond and a relationship that just can't be broken, and you just get so emotionally attached to it. Yeah. Now I gotta hurry this up because my camera's about to cut off. My number one game of all time, some of you are probably not gonna agree with me, is Infamous 2. Like, I love this game. Was the game. When I first heard this game was coming out, I'm like, okay, I've got to get this game. And the time it took for it to come out was just so slow. Like the years 2010 and 2011, I was so impatient for this game to come out. Like I would not stop talking about it to like my family and friends. And when I finally got this game, all my fantasies and expectations were fulfilled. And this game just delivered so much for me. The gameplay was the controlling was very smooth. The story was awesome, and just the things that you could do in this game, like you could play the hero or the villain. You can choose your path, and the choices that you make in this game goes on in the story. Like the characters will treat you different, and the environment will treat you different as well. And I love how the game ended to where you could choose to save people or not, with their own respective and different reasons why you would do it. And this game just delivered so much for me. But yeah, that was my top 5 favorite video games of all time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now, just remember, guys, this is just my honest opinions of what I think are the best games of all time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, comment in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later. Have an awesome day.